Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah Donald and today I want to talk about the fight between Africans and African Americans. The fight between Africans and African Americans is one of the biggest distractions that we are facing today. Someone recently commented on my page saying, "You Africans hate African Americans. You come to America and you do not acknowledge our struggles." That got me thinking. That really made me stop to think. I deleted the comment because I didn't want the negativity, like the back and forth, but I said I was going to do a video on it. And I was going to ask, where did all this come from? Where did that idea come from? Because no one just grows up thinking and assuming that Africans hate African Americans. That has to come from somewhere. Because you know what? When I look at our history, our struggle as someone that has lived in America and in Nigeria, when I look at our history and our struggles and our culture, what I see is I see family. But somehow, somewhere along the way, we have been tricked into thinking that we are our own enemies. Yes. And that's exactly what I want us to talk about today. I want to talk about how misinformation has divided us and is still dividing us. Who benefits from our division? And most importantly, why we need to put an end to these diaspora wars. Like, it must not pass this generation. So let's start with the root of the issue, which is history. I love to go back to history. A lot of people don't realize that this division did not just happen randomly. Yes, it was planted from slavery to colonization to systematic racism. There's been a long history of outside forces creating separation between Africans and Black Americans. And even these same people try to create separation even between us Africans, like different African countries, always putting us up for drags, for competition against each other. Many Black Americans grow up with a painful history, knowing that their ancestors were stolen from Africa and enslaved. But here's where the misinformation starts. Some are told that Africans sold them and simply moved on. Now, I'm going to be honest, while it is true that some African leaders played a role in the slave trade, the full picture is actually deeper than that. Because the Europeans, they manipulated, they were armed, yes, and once they got what they wanted, they turned around and colonized Africa too. So Africans were also victims of oppression. I'm going to give an example of something that I love to do. So imagine someone comes to you with a gun, like at gunpoint, and says, "I want you to exchange this for this. I'm going to give you 10 naira. Or 10 naira is like the lowest amount, right? I'm going to give you 10 naira for this exchange. But I have a gun. I am armed, I have taken over your entire country. But I'm going to make it look like a negotiation." Then I give it to the person. And the person turns around and creates a story that makes it look like I sold it to them. Now ask yourself, do I really have a choice with people that had arms that Africa has never seen? Now, I am not going to take away the fact that some African leaders were definitely greedy, because in every household there's always that Judas. So we're not going to take that away. But the truth is, everything still turned around. Africa did not move on. We dealt and are still dealing with our own oppression. While Black Americans were fighting against slavery and later segregation, Africa was being invaded and colonized. Europeans stripped us of our resources, divided our tribes, and instilled the belief that African cultures were not good. And here's the key part. Once both sides were weakened, the real damage happened, which is the separation of our identities. They stole from us, took everything from us, renamed us, retribed us, separated us, and most importantly, they instilled that identity crisis. Now let's fast forward to today. The stereotypes we have about each other, where are they fueled from? They are fueled by the media. Africans are shown as poor, uneducated, desperate. Black Americans are shown as violent, lazy, and disconnected. These are narratives pushed to keep us from seeing the real truth about each other. We are more alike than different, I must say. Now let's talk about what's happening today. Social media has turned diaspora wars into entertainment. Yeah, I mean, every few weeks, a new debate starts. Boycotting African business. Do Africans hate Black Americans? Do Black Americans disrespect Africans? And before you know it, the entire timelines are filled up with negativity. But here's my question. If you go outside into the real world, do you actually see this fight happening? Because from where I'm sitting, I don't see it. On my channel, for example, a lot of my viewers, that's part of why I'm making videos like this, a lot of my viewers are Africans in the diaspora and African Americans, Black Americans. I see us working together, dating, getting married, making music, wearing Nigerian clothes for prom, and most importantly, supporting each other. So why does it feel like online we are always at war? Why does it feel like there's always this war going on online? Well, the answer is simple. Division gets the click. Yeah, they control the algorithm. The more we argue, the more these platforms push this content. Meanwhile, the real issue about racism, poverty, oppression, all this gets swept under the carpet and they get ignored while we fight ourselves. Now, let's be fair. A lot of Africans come to, like, I'm going to be honest, a lot of Africans come to America or go to Europe and they don't fully understand the struggle that Black Americans have faced. They do not understand how the system has been against them. Some of us are raised with the idea that all you need to do is just to work hard, that if you work hard, you will succeed. Because that's how we had to survive back home. What many don't realize is that Black Americans have been fighting against a system that was built by them, but to keep them down. Imagine building a system and the system was not built for you. So when Africans say things like, why can't they just work harder? I'm honest, it is coming from a place of ignorance. I do understand that ignorance is not an excuse, which is why I'm making videos like this, which is why I constantly make videos like this. It is ignorant for you to go to a land where people have built, that was built in their bag, and just assume that, oh, the reason they don't have money like white people is because they are not working hard. And we must stop that. Flip side, there are also misconceptions that Black Americans have about Africans. Yes, the idea that Africa is just poor. Every time you ask all those interviews, what's the poorest country? They will use Africa, even though Africa is not a country. The Africans don't care about slavery. The Africans just moved on. The Africans look down on African Americans. These are misconceptions that Black Americans have about Africans. Africa is not just one country. It is a massive continent with over 50 countries. Guys, thousands of language and diverse culture. So while some African leaders were the ringleaders of, slave trade, many others fought against it. And today, Africans face their own struggles. I mean, colonial scars, corrupt governments, economic struggles. I mean, these are things that were left behind by foreign control. Imagine colonizing a country, leaving after many years, and that country needs to rebuild from start. But at the core of this, I want you to know that we're not each other's enemies. We have both been lied to. Africans have been lied to. Black Americans have been lied to. That is why when you have a platform, please use your platform and speak up. Now let's ask the most important question that I always ask myself. Who actually benefits from us fighting? Because from where I'm sitting, it's not us. Why we are arguing over who is more oppressed, who is boycotting who, governments and other corporations are making billions of our division. Yes, they profit off a divided black community, whether it's in Africa, America, the UK, or anywhere else. Once we're divided, they profit from it. Now, when we are divided, we are easier to control. But when we are united, guys, we are unstoppable. That's why movements like Pan-Africanism have always been targeted. You know what? Because when black people across the world come together, we become so powerful. So what's the solution? How do we stop this diaspora wars? I'm going to share a few points. One, I think we should educate ourselves. Please, learn about each other's history beyond what the internet tells you. Let's learn about each other, understand where we are coming from. Number two is to stop generalizing. Please, one bad experience doesn't define a whole group of people. One bad experience in Nigeria doesn't mean that the entire Africa is bad. One bad experience in Uganda doesn't mean that the entire Africa is bad. One bad experience with an African American, with a black American, doesn't mean the entire community is bad. Another thing is that we need to build bridges. We need to support each other. We need to support black businesses, teach black businesses, learn and create spaces for unity. We need to start thinking about generational wealth as black people. We need to stay focused, because every time we argue, that's time wasted. Yeah, because at the end of the day, we are family. We may have different experiences, but you know what? Our struggles are connected. We need to stop letting old wounds and internet debates divide us. Because when we stand together, we're unstoppable. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, please, so that I don't delete your comment. Respectfully, I want to know your thoughts. Are we truly divided? Or is it just another distraction? And what can we do? Please, let's talk about this in the comment section with love. My name still remains Sarah Donald, and I love you all. Thank you so much.